Full Throttle Television welcomes you to Darlington Raceway in Darlington, South Carolina for tonight's coverage of the Smokin Tires Sprint Car Cup Series. My name is Brody Hanna. With me tonight is Richie Coy, back from a race of his own, and Tony Solari to my other side. Tony, Richie, guys, thank you for joining us tonight. We're looking forward to a great one here in sunny Darlington Raceway. No lightning, no rain, no weather issues to be seen here, and we're going to be seeing some great racing tonight. Richie, what do you expect tonight?
Well, honestly, I got to disagree. I think we're going to see lots of lightning. I think the lightning is going to be lightning quick lap times tonight. These guys are 2 to 2.5 seconds faster than the Cup cars here, and they're my new heroes. This is just awesome.
All right, Tony, you saw it there. I mean, we're seeing it in practice, man. These cars are a handful. We saw it last week at Bristol. We had a great race at Bristol last week, and looking for a great one here again tonight. But these guys are kind of getting warmed up. What do you expect tonight with these cars?
Well, I don't know what to expect, to be honest. This is Darlington, after all. I mean, this is the Lady in Black. We might see some Darlington stripes here. I'm just amazed that these cars are even running at Darlington. To be honest, this is their first mile and a half. I think the only one on the schedule. And yeah, like Richie said, these are going to be so fast, and laps are going to be flying through. And I mean, we're already in 27-second range right now, and it's quicker than a Cup car, and it's awesome stuff.
Yeah, we're looking at the race info tonight. The track description. It is an egg-shaped oval. Everybody knows this track for the most part. The guys in the NASCAR circle do anyway. And man, these cars are ripping around here a little bit quicker than the Cup cars. It's going to be a quick race for those guys. But man, it's a whole different beast with these cars versus the stock cars. So should be a lot of fun. As you saw the weather there, nice 76 degrees. No threat of rain. But we are going to see some lightning and some storms, I'm sure, tonight. But yeah, definitely a unique race we're going to have tonight, and glad you guys are joining us on YouTube to enjoy the event as well. Now, Richie, last week you didn't join us, but we're going to throw up the results from last week at Bristol. Ty Bostic was able to take home the win last week over Preston Cranmer. And just looking at the points there, the points are going to match the results. We've only had one round for the most part. Held off Preston Cranmer, Chad Biesinger, and Greg Drilling, and then David Balthazar rounded out your top five last week. It was a great race. And Tony, maybe you can fill him in a little bit on what happened last week.
Let's see. Well, they were running around. We had a few cautions. And Ty Bostic made a last pass move, not a last lap move, but a move later on, and he just checked out, and could be caught.
Yeah, there was a good bit of racing. We saw people getting loose and getting tied off the corner. A lot of interesting things going on, but you're right. It was a late move on a restart there with 3 laps to go. Was able to bring home the victory. Was some good racing though. It was a lot of fun. Was a good time talking to those guys and seeing what they were experiencing out there. It was very entertaining, and like I said, a lot of fun to see. And from what I heard, the guys had a lot of fun to race.
Well, I did get to be here for the exhibition race, and I was out. Unfortunately for me, unfortunately for you guys, I was actually out real racing over the weekend. But the exhibition race at Iowa was the same thing. It was a lot of passing. A lot of 2 wide, 3 wide. So Bristol, knowing that it's the the Coliseum of racing, I can only imagine that it was some great racing. I'm already watching in practice tonight, and they're running pretty much the same groove the stock cars run here. So I think passing might be a little bit tougher tonight with the Lady in Black, putting it with the high groove, and maybe some passing going into 3 and 4. But 1 and 2. I'm still on the old school Darlington. 1 and 2, there might be some passing because it's a little bit, you might get both lines going. But 3 and 4, because everybody's running the high line, it might be a little bit tough to pass. We got to watch that deadly exit of the corner out there, where everybody tends to get tight and smack the wall.
Yeah, Darlington's known to be notorious for pass. I mean, it's tough to pass anyway. Much less in these cars, you don't have fenders to kind of rub and everything. You touch tires and you're going to go for a ride, and we've seen it already in practice. But yeah, narrow groove, a tough track to pass on. And one thing that this track is infamous for is the Darlington stripe. And the thing is, with no fenders, man, these guys, you touch tires to the wall, and you go. We saw it in Bristol last week, Tony, that you touch the wall as these guys go to qualifying. You touch the wall, man, you go flying.
Yeah, we actually had a couple of guys climb the wall a little bit, and some of them rolled over. And yeah, I mean, they're Indy cars with Indy car horsepower in a stubbier chassis and wings or wingless, and it's you can't get full throttle. And I unfortunately didn't get a chance just because I really don't like Darlington, but I didn't get a chance to run these just to see what they're up against. But I, I'm gonna have to try it just to check it out.
Well, they do look like a lot of fun for sure, and I look forward to seeing what these guys can do with it. Yeah, I didn't get to try it either, but I really, really want to because they're really hauling the mail around here in those little cars, and being open cockpit, that's got to be a lot of fun. I do want to fill in the followers from last week to this week, or if you're new, I want to let you know what the format is. So basically, they're going to do a qualifying session now. Your standard 2 laps is going to be the what you would expect. And then following the 2 laps of qualifying, as we're watching Sean Huffstutler run his qualifying lap, following the qualifying, there'll be 2 heats to set basically the inside and outside row. Unlike last week, there will be no invert after the heats. So the heats will set the lineup for the main event. Now, the heats will be 8 laps apiece. At this large track, which we had 8 laps last week at Bristol. And Tony, you know how quick that went by. 8 laps is going to take us a little bit longer here. Then we're going to have a 50-lap main as opposed to 60 laps we ran at Bristol. So a little bit longer race here. 50 laps is still a good long length of a race here. And so we're not going to see the guys, Tony, trying to rush to getting to the front as much as we saw at Bristol anyway.
Well, yeah, we're going to have probably an 8-minute race tonight for the heat races, and or 4-minute race for the heat races tonight. And then last week we had barely 2 minutes for the heat races. So they're going to have a little bit more time, not much, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how things shake out because these guys are going to be holding that wheel hard and going as fast as they can to get around here.
And Richie, the other thing that's different from last week to this week, other than having you in the booth, is that we've got more cars here this week. We're looking at about a 25 car field, so our heat races are going to be a little bit bigger. You do have a little more time, but give the viewers kind of an idea of okay, the mentality of a 8 lap heat race at Bristol versus an 8 lap heat race here at Darlington.
Well, at Bristol, you're ripping off laps, really, really, really fast, quick laps. So you're everything happens so quickly at Bristol that you don't have time to think. Whereas here at Darlington, the straightaways for these cars are going to be so long that you got plenty of time to rest going down the straightaway. You can loosen up your hands a little bit, take a drink, do whatever you need to do down the straightaway, and then you get to the corners where you're going to have to hold on for dear life. But really, you might even have some draft coming in with these cars here at this big track like this. So it'll be a little bit more relaxed for them, even though for 8 laps, you're going to want to try to go as quickly as you possibly can. It's going to be a little bit more relaxed as far as the atmosphere in the cockpits.
Speaking of taking a drink, we're going to let you guys take a drink. We're going to go pay some bills. We're going to visit with the sponsors real quick before we get started here at Darlington Raceway for the Smoking Tires Sprint Car Cup Series. Racing action from the Smoking Tires Sprint Car Cup Series is brought to you by Team 126 Racing, your home for hard-nosed, short-track racing action from the UK. Like and follow them at facebook.com/Team126Racing. By Butt Kicker, feel what you've been missing and experience immersion on a whole new level. Visit thebuttkicker.com to see all of their amazing products today. By Track Racer, experience refined gaming for yourself, including the new Alpine Racing TRX system. For more information, visit trackracer.com today. By Edwards Setup Shop, proud setup provider of the Smoking Tires Sprint Car Cup Series. Visit facebook.com/Edwards Setup Shop for more information. And by Epsilon Sprint Wraps, the place to get your sprint car and dirt racing paint schemes. Visit facebook.com/Epsilon Sprint Wraps today. All right, as we get ready to roll off for our heats, qualifying's wrapping up here. See if I see how much time we have left. We got a few seconds left here, and so Tony, just again, tell us kind of the ins and outs of we talked about the car and talked about the track, the racing, the passing here. Where do you think the passing points are going to be for this car?
Uh, I honestly, I think it's down the straightaways. Either the back straight, front straight. I just think the guys that are going to be able to get off the corner quicker are going to have a better chance to kind of make that pass. We know you probably can't go full throttle here, even down the straightaways. So it's just going to be squeezing that throttle and getting this thing to hook up, and I think that's where we're going to see most of the pass. And I think a lot of the guys, they'd be best to play it safe in the corners.
All right, and looks like they are about ready here. Heat race number one, and there is your starting. Well, you can't see it because I got something in the way there. There you go. There's your starting grid for tonight's heat. Heat number one here. Chad Beesing is going to start on the front row with Brinkcap starting out second.
Y'all don't forget about the start line.
All right, Sean Hustutler, we were following him. He starts third. Michael Murray starting fourth in the heat, number 14. Fifth place is going to be Jeff Nairn. Sixth place is going to be Brendan Basinger in the 18. The 22 of Marshall Layton starts seventh here. The eighth position goes to the 35 of Greg Thrilling. Ninth, Tom Land. 10th is going to be, 10th is going to be Tom Land. Ninth is Bobby Gibson in the 28. 11th, Nicholas DeFrancesco. And then you're going to have Bryant Newingham and Christopher Standridge rounding out the heat number one.
Number 5 starting in number 5. This ought to be good. I like to see that they picked up some guys over the last couple of weeks, but yeah, this ought to be. I can't wait. It's going to be interesting. I'm sure we're going to see at some point some 3-wide action, but we'll see how it goes here. They did some lightning fast laps in qualifying. 27.3, I think, was the pole. So that's a lightning fast time.
Yeah, we said we weren't going to see some lightning, but they're pretty lightning quick around here in these cars for sure. So get ready to get started here. B Singer again on the pole. Brinkcap second. You have any favorites here? Tony, you got to see him race last week. So, Tony, give me your pick.
Well, I'm going to kind of go with Greg Drelling. He had a great run at Bristol. Unfortunately, couldn't seal the deal at the end, and we saw him in Iowa, and he ran pretty good there also. So that's my pick.
All right, coming down to it.
Green.
Getting the green flag. Leaders off, and we're underway here at Darlington Raceway.
That gear, they don't take off very well, but I'm sure they're going to come up to speed. Oh, there's a wreck going into one already.
We got cars
what is
flying.
Oh my God.
There are no cautions in the heat races, by the way, guys. So we're going to stay green here and let them get that cleaned up. But Mark Brinkcamp has jumped out to a huge lead. They were side by side going into turn one. Chad Basinger gave it to him, and Brinkcamp has jumped out there and kind of gapped the field.
Yeah, second, third, fourth, and fifth are all running together here. Nose to tail. And again, we got to vie for second here as he goes to the inside, 94 to the inside, and takes over second.
That's Hufstutler. We saw he was really quick last week at Bristol. Tony, unfortunately, with that invert, he ended up at the back and wasn't able to work his way to the front. He's looking to make some noise here tonight.
Yeah, well, that's going to be the thing, too. Without the invert, some of these guys that run strong in the heats are going to be able to maybe capitalize when it comes down to race time. We got another guy hitting the wall. He's taking out third and fourth. I think we already have at least 10 cars out right now.
Oh, my goodness. Look at this car flipping down the backstretch. Oh, my goodness. What a ride. That is third and fourth. But that's going to leave Brinkcamp, Hustutler, and Biesinger to really fight, or Chad Biesinger to fight for this heat here.
Well, this may bring something into play that we weren't really thinking about here in the pre-race is attrition. And if you have to start in the back of the pack, trying to make your way up through the field, not getting involved in one of these.
that is a really good point too, Richie. And they do have one fast repair to use for the main. Of course, it's not going to help you in the heats because there are no cautions. But a wreck like that in the main, you do have one fast repair, but you're going to have to manage that if you're going to have a chance here.
Yeah, exactly. That's and your heat race already isn't going well. You already know you're starting in the back of the field here, so you don't want to have to wreck in the in the feature either. So you're gonna, are you gonna take that little bit of extra time getting by these guys? You're gonna take a little bit of patience trying to come up through the field, or are you gonna try to just get by these guys as quickly as you can, as fast as you can? So
Yeah,
that by itself is a strategy.
Brinkamp is just, I mean, he's just out there by himself, just doesn't need to make any mistakes. We have a lap car here coming out in front of him, but just needs to ride around, not make any mistakes, and take on this heat win. And that's going to put, I tell you, we talked about these heats, and it is just a heat race. But Greg Drelling, Bobby Gibson, some of the fast guys are now starting. They're going to have to start in the back of the main now.
And somebody who in like the 91 of Tom Land, who actually joined the server pretty late. I don't know if he had a lot of practice. He started in the back of the heat here. He's 2 laps down, but I think he's going to finish this, and he picked up 5-6 spots just by the attrition and finishing the race.
Absolutely, I think he's the one that's out there. Just came back out to get some laps and pick up some positions. Looking at Huff Stutler, he's second place, not really making much of a run on our leader, not making too much time up, making a little bit, but with these short races, I mean, we're on the final lap. This is going to be it. So Brinkamp's going to continue to just kind of truck through 3 and 4 here. He's going to take home the win in heat race number 1.
Yeah, I saw Sean Huffstuffler. Him and Chad Biesinger, they were almost getting close to the wall back there, but it looks like they just kind of calmed down and finished this off this heat.
And that's going to be Don Francisco. It's going to finish 4th in the 48. 5th is going to be the 2 of Christopher Standridge coming around. That's going to be your top 5 for this heat race. So, yeah, that was an interesting start.
De Francisco and Standridge both started 12th and 13th on the grid, and they came back 4th and 5th. So attrition playing a factor there, and they made their way through the field there to get good finishes.
All right, we got the lineup for heat race number 2. They're already lining up and getting ready.
Well, we got David Baldessar starting on the front row here, along with Melissa Dyer. Then we have Stephen Hill, 3rd. Ty Bostic, 4th. Evan Amick is 5th. Kevin Bradstock is 6th. Roger Down is 7th. Josh Dubé, I assume, is starting 8th. We have Billy O. Smith starting 9th. Peter Woodrum, 10th. Dan Withers starting 11th. Kenneth Dampier starting 12th. Or Kevin Dampier, sorry. And then Wayne Bridges starting 13th. I think I forgot Dan Withers in there. These words are very small for me. He's starting 11th.
Yeah, Dampier and Wayne Bridges there on the back row. They're rolling off.
So I've noticed that a couple of these guys have updated their paints from the exhibition race, and we got some good looking cars out there. There's I like the number 27, nice and very simple. The old Indy stripe on the back. Number 27. There's a Jim Beam car out there, number 21, that's white and red. That looks pretty good. So we got some good looking cars out there in this heat race.
Yeah, we're on board with the 21 there. That's Roger Down. I think he's new for this week. Wasn't here last week, but glad he could show up this week. And I'm sure our one of our sponsors, Epsilon Sprint Paints, is helped these guys out with their sprint car paint jobs. I'm sure. Sprint wraps, Epsilon Sprint wraps. You guys check them out. They do a lot of dirt stuff and have helped these guys out with some of their paint jobs.
They definitely got some good looking cars out there. But I'm partial because I drive a Beast midget, and these sprint cars are based off the Beast chassis. So my midget looks just like this, but smaller.
And we're green here. Heat race number 2 is green, and we're off and running. And honestly, David Balthasar got a great start there.
He was showing a lot of strength in Bristol. Made a great late run. Let's see what he can do here. I know Iowa wasn't so great for him, but yeah, he's another one to watch tonight.
Looks like they single filed out pretty quickly here to again, it's going to be. I think it's going to be really tough for him to pass. So we got all single file throughout the field here. Top three have kind of checked out a little bit.
Yep, they definitely had a better start than the first group. Was able to make it through 1 and 2. As you see, Melissa Dyer's. I don't know if that was a wiggle or if that was just finding a line.
It could have been a wiggle. It could have been finding a line. Anything's possible with these cars at this track. I'm still highly amazed that they're going around this track. It's actually absolutely awesome.
Yeah, and they definitely separated out a little bit. It had a much cleaner start, and they're just letting the track come to them. And we'll see. Melissa Dyer looks like she's getting ready to take on the lead, though.
She's run him down. She's right on the back bumper. And I wonder about the draft here. If there's how much draft there. Oh, you see the leader gets the wall there.
Oh, he's gonna.
Woo,
She checked up great and got a
wide.
3 wide and 1.
That was when I said that a lot of stuff doesn't happen and it was going to be slower. Maybe I was a bit wrong. I guess it's going to be.
Oh!
I guess it's a little hectic in the cockpits. Oh my goodness.
Well, always we got cars on the back stretch pits now. Looks like the Stephen Hill, Ty Bostic involved in that. We got it. Roger down flipping in turn 3 for some reason. Missed that too.
We got David Baldessar in the number 45. He's trying to get that spot. There's got to be a hint of draft on these things. Oh, and Melissa gets in the wall.
Melissa in the wall. So that's going to hand the lead to David Balthasar. Again, no caution here. So she's just going to clear herself off the track, and she does. And now Balthasar leading Evan Amick and Kenneth Bradstock.
Looks like the 77 of Evan Amick might actually be closing the gap there to our leader, and the third, and fourth place of Bradstock and Dubé are right on top. In fact, actually, fourth is going to the inside of third right now, going into. I don't even know where we are. I can never tell what corner of the track we're at.
It's turn 3. Turn 3 and 4, and he was unable to. Kenneth Bradstock was able to hold off Joshua Dubé.
Well, Evan was 0.2 of a second 2 laps ago, and he kind of slowed that down to he's 0.3 of a second slower this last lap. We'll see where he comes this lap, but it does look like he's gaining.
Another.
Look at Tony throwing out those stats.
I know it's a pass attempt by Josh able to. Oh, I thought he finished the pass. Bradstock was able to hang to his outside. Here they go 2 wide through 1 and 2, and you know how tricky this is.
These cars are a little bit skinnier than the stock cars are, so they may actually be able to pull it off, and they do as the 9 takes over third.
Yeah, Dubé to third.
I think we are on the last lap.
No, 5. Well, our graphics are messed up, so if we are,
I am not ready for this to be over yet.
we are. So David Balthasar takes home the win. These heats kind of mess with our stats, so unfortunately we were unable to catch that. Balthasar did take home the win. Evan Amick second. Joshua was able to get that pass done on the last lap. Finished third. Kenneth Bradstock fourth, and Dan Withers fifth.
Looks like Wayne Bridges finished sixth. Billy O. Smith finished seventh. Kevin Dampier eighth. Ty Bostic ninth. And my grid just reset.
Yeah, that's what happens. We move fast here.
Pete Woodrum finished 10th, Dan Withers 11th, and Kevin Dampier 12th, and Wayne Bridges rounded out on 13th.
And I believe we'll get a reset here.
"26 cars are gridding.
26 cars. So we had 12 and 13 in each of our heat races, and now we're gonna stack them all up together and pray for the best in turn 1.
Ain't that to say? Well, I don't know if I'd rather be mid pack or in the back here, because it could be a bird's nest going into one here.
Well, there's so much action. It's so hard to catch everything. I mean, there was a lot of action in the heat races for sure. At least with these, you guys watching, we'll be able to go back and kind of show you the wrecks and the replays and stuff. Unfortunately, with the heat races with no cautions, things move fast. But for here, we're gonna see what happens. And honestly, remember too that these guys do have a fast repair, so at least they'll be able to get their cars fixed and get back out there if something does happen or when something happens.
Well, that's the only reason for going into a pit. Fix, repair. You have no tires. You don't need any fuel. Even though you can get topped off if you need it, but any guy going down for a pit is for a little bit of damage repair. And I think the key to tonight is just going to be keep it clean and stay off the fence, stay off the wall. And we've even seen the leaders get up into that wall. So I don't think there's a safe place on the track.
No, I don't believe there is. It's a tricky track anyway in any car you drive, and then these cars are tricky in themselves. This is a tough thing, and again, I'm not dumping on the drivers because these cars are extremely hard to drive, and it's you get what you get when you put a hard track and a hard car together. You're between a rock and a hard place.
That's for sure. We're actually coming to green right now, so we're going to get this thing started with the 78 of Mark Bremkamp and David Baldassari coming to the green here.
So right, we got 50 laps. You got Brinkat, Baltasar on the front row.
Green.
Waiting. Green flag is out, and we are underway here at Darlington.
We're in South Carolina. We're in your home state, Brody. You should know that. All right. Singled out pretty quickly here, but I have a feeling we're going to get racing real quick. As Bremkamp jumped out to the lead real early here.
Nicholas Don Francisco jumps back a little bit, but up front, Brinkat jumps out to lead.
Caution.
And we have our first caution.
Together, bud.
It's the 28, Bobby Gibson on his lid on the backstretch.
Looks like that was a wreck happening for a while. A couple cars got messed up in front of him, and
let's go back and look at it here.
All right, so yeah, it looked like there was a couple cars that stacked up in front of him, and he went to back off he went down the racetrack to give him a little bit of room, and that left side caught him and sent him right back up the racetrack into the wall.
Yeah, there was a lot going on there. There was two cars stacked up, like you said, in front of him, and then let's look at that again. And then as that happened, there's a car to his inside as well, and he's just trying to slow down. He sees that, and I think he tries to get back in the gas, and the thing just takes a hard right into the wall, over and over. Same thing we saw at Bristol. These cars love to flip.
So these cars, like most open wheel cars, have a lot of left side weight, and what that means is that if you put these cars on a scale, they're going to have probably about 70% left side weight, meaning that that's where the most of the weight is in that particular car as far as the center line is concerned. And when you do that and put a lot of left side in a race car, they don't like to go the opposite way without flipping, and that's what you're seeing here.
Yeah, they also, when you get on the gas, as we noticed too, especially at a track that has like Bristol, has a lot of transition, a lot of banking transition coming from a high bank to trying to flatten out. They do not like that as well. We saw plenty of cars take off tight and honestly get loose. Just makes it really tough.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is the track too tough to tame, and it's got that nickname for a reason.
Oh yeah, that's why I dread it so much, and it's just some of these restarts. I think these guys got to tighten up and give this thing as much gas as they can to get moving. It looks like some of the backfield was getting held up that back time. I was going back and looking at some of the stuff. They got to tighten up, and when that flag drops, these guys got to get boogieing, because I think that was kind of the reason a lot of that mayhem just occurred.
Well, yeah, I think you've got guys trying to take it easy back there, and you got guys trying to get to the front from back there as well. So it's you kind of meet in the middle, and that's kind of what happens.
Never a good combination.
Nah, the one good thing with this though is we're going to get a restart. All the restarts are single file, so we're going to get a single file restart. Everybody will be single file, and we'll be able to kind of start fresh from there, and hopefully kind of have a smoother start.
Well, I'm pretty sure we're coming. I see the lights are out on the pace car.
Yeah,
So
mine's
we're coming to green right now.
that's right. So Kevin Brinkamp's your leader currently. David Baltasar second. Sean Huffstutler is up to third. Fourth, Evan Amick. Fifth is Chad Biesinger. That's your top five right now. Pace car dives off. We're coming through 3 and 4. We're going to see the green this time by. And we'll see what these guys can do with it.
And we're waiting for Barney to throw that green flag right now. And there it goes. Green, green, green. I love the Biesinger cars. They're actually painted in a bee-like scheme.
Well, you know, off camera, I did say B Stinger, so I guess it fits.
It does, and they're painted very similar, except one has a yellow frame and the other one has a white frame.
Oh, I like that. Alternating color, sort of. Yeah. All right.
We got
So-
Mark Brunkamp. He kind of took off to a good lead. We got David Balsar in second, kind of hanging with them. Third place, a little further back, we have Sean Hutstuffler, and then we got Evan Amick a little bit behind him.
Got
Got a battle-
Huffstutler. Yeah, looking
battle
on
for
the
second.
inside. To David
Huffstutler.
Baltasar.
Yep, does not look like he was able to complete that pass.
Now it looks like the outside's got some speed. I mean, you can run that outside, force them to go to the inside. Of course, with this car, it's only is it 1 gear or 2 gears? I always forget. But
One gear.
One
yeah,
gear,
so
yep.
there's only 1 gear, so you keep the thing wound up on the outside. You make it hard to pass.
Yeah, and the cars may be getting a little loose on the bottom too, which will hurt your run on the bottom.
Yeah, and it's all about momentum for this car too. You know, you don't want to squeeze on the throttle too hard. You really don't even want to lay off of it too much either. You want to just kind of keep the momentum going and just keep the rear end from coming around on you.
Caution's out.
Oh, we got another
One thing for
caution.
sure,
Yellow, yellow,
everybody on the
yellow.
racetrack will be pissed off at somebody else on the racetrack before
Newingham
this race
is
is over
against the
with.
inside wall. And we got another car flipping there too. Let's see. That's Roger down. Uh-oh. Roger's down.
Roger's upside down.
Yeah, his down is up. Let's look at that again. Let's see what happened here with the 21 and the 28. Coming through 3 and 4. We're watching the 21. Oh, just contact there and starts flipping on the wall there. Actually, that is Newingham, the 28.
Looked like a car might have got loose up in front of the. Let's go back and look. I missed the numbers. Looked like a car liggled and got out of the gas, and that would be, I think, the 17, who was in front of Peter Woodrum in the number 1.
Right on board with the Newingham machine. We'll see it. He gets a little loose, and then he gets loose again, and just checks up for that just a little bit. The guy behind him just does not have time to react. Goes for a wild ride down the front stretch. That's another one of those rides you want to take in VR there, Tony.
Yeah, I'm still amazed at how bad these cars bounce around like a basketball. But yes, if you're in VR, you're better off just closing your eyes at that point.
I'm not even in VR. I just watched the 21 and I got a little seasick.
That'll happen.
He looks like he just was trying to avoid it, get that left side again, and in the fence.
And that 21, we looked at that too. The 21, just after the fact, look, he got by the wreck and got back in the gas, and car just took off right in the wall.
They're so touchy on throttle. They're so touchy on steering movements. You know, you get a little next to somebody, and again, I don't know if there's any air or air wash or anything like it is on some other cars on the sim. But yeah, these are probably the hardest car to drive in iRacing, I would say, and that's not an understatement.
Well, there goes your lucky dog, the 28 of Bobby Gibson. Not sure how many laps down he is. If he's just 1 lap down.
Bobby Gibson, he was 2 laps down, so he's 1 lap down now.
All right, so he gets one of his laps back. It'll get him closer to the front. Again, with the fast repair, he's going to be able to, you know, he crashed that car early, but he's going to have to take care of it now. He's going to be in the back. And if I was him, I'd just ride around and wait for the next one.
Well, we're just over a fifth of the way in this race. We're 11 laps in. We've had, 2 cautions so far, so my mentality at this point would be just let's ride a little bit and see where we can get. Let's get the tires to wear off, Let's get some, some heat in them tires, get some fuel load off, and then go. Let's get some battling going on.
Hey Richie, you were talking about the weight in these cars and the way the weight transfer in these cars work. You see everybody under caution riding down the apron. You know, you don't see that really in any other series. Even the NASCAR guys will kind of ride around the apron. I mean, on the track. But these guys are staying off that banking because this car is so touchy, so edgy at low speeds. I'm sure they want to get as far away from that wall as they can.
I was wondering about that. Was wondering why they were running around the bottom. Now on dirt, you would see somebody do that because they're running down in the mud trying to cool their tires off. But I'm like, these guys aren't on dirt, and I don't know why they would be that down there. But yeah, if they're edgy under caution and under slow laps, I get it.
I think it honestly some of that too may be monkey see monkey do. You might have a couple guys up front doing that, and everybody's like, "Yeah, we'll just ride down there. That's fine."
Well, there is a possibility that they could be a little tall on gas. I know when we ran or when they ran Iowa, there was a concern that they might run out of gas, even though they are running 100% fuel. Iowa was 60 laps, and I know it's not a full mile and a half like this track. So maybe some guys are just taking a little shorter way around. You can't dump it into fourth gear and ride around. I mean, there's only one gear, so there's really no other way to save gas on these things.
You know, Mark's making me look like a fool now because what he's doing, he's riding up on the banking and swerving, warming his tires. So maybe I was just full of it there. I'm not sure, but looks like we're getting ready to go green.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at it, and my heart was in my throat when he was doing that. I'm like,
Yeah.
he's gonna wreck just doing that. But yeah, he was able to make it through there and
Well,
cleaned up his tires a little bit.
we put the spotlight on him. So if he's gonna make a mistake, everybody was gonna know about it.
Well, we got replay. We could always go back and put him on.
True, true. All right, guys, so we're through 3 and 4 here. The pace car is going to pull off. We're going to go green here again at Darlington. 12 laps in the books of 50. You got Brinkkamp leading, Baltasar second, Sean Huffstutler, who was fast last week and fast again this week in third. We'll see if he can do anything with him as the green flag comes out and Brinkkamp gets a great start.
What a jump. Nice start.
Yeah, it looks like the rest of the field is kind of hanging though together. I mean, they've kind of bunched up. We'll see how much they separate, but at least it was a good restart by top 10.
I was watching back here because they kind of got bunched up, and we got to pass for, it looks like trying to pass for fifth. Not going to be able to get it done here, but he's going to try it. He drives into 3. That's Josh Dubé in the 9, and he's going to take a position over Chad Biesinger. It's one of the Bumblebee cars.
Once again, we got a battle for second place as third place of Huffstutler is working his way past Baldassar.
And he was able to make that pass to the inside off turn 2. So give second place to the 94 of Huffstutler. Now he's going to try to see if he can run down our leader, who has jumped out to a different zip code.
Caution.
And caution
Tell me what you got.
Ooh, we got a big one, guys.
Oh, there's a big one. I saw it in the back across the racetrack. I don't know who it was.
It was about 5 cars at least. But not sure what caused that. We'll go back and investigate. Let's see. Michael Murray, it's telling on him. Let's see what we can see here.
Michael Murray.
Oh yeah, I just saw he's upside down.
Oh goodness.
He was racing with the 5.
Was that okay? That was the 5 of Jeff Nairn.
Yeah, it looks like the 5 might have came down a little bit, and oh my goodness, we need another medic on the track.
Yeah, I want to see that again because they were going into turn 3, and it looks like the 5. Looks like the 5 just when he got off the gas, maybe the car turned left. I don't know, but just kind of got into him there.
Yeah, it looks like it came down just a hair. Whether it would have been off throttle, because these are twitchy off throttle also. Although it was a little early to get into that turn 3, but yeah, unfortunate for the 2 of them and everybody else involved.
Right with Dan Withers, Dan, he didn't get through it, but he didn't go for a wild ride. I thought he'd see if Tom Land probably went for a ride here. On board with the 91.
Yeah, he got into the back of the 67, and oh, medic.
Oh,
looked like somebody else went in there too.
Yeah, we had several guys going.
Somebody
Clear.
went above, and oh my goodness, somebody went off the fence, outside the fence.
Riding with
Who's
Pete
that?
Woodrum in the one. He got involved, but looks like he could
Oh,
slow down pretty good there. Oh,
so the 5, when he got hit by the 27, and when he got hit, he went over the catch fence and disappeared back to pit road.
all right, we're on board with the 5. Had a moment off too there. Gets it gathered up. Oh, okay, there he is. And then, bam, bam, and we lost our feet.
Yeah.
But again, these guys have a fast repair, so they're gonna get their car repaired. I saw the 5; he was already back out there. The 1's back running. Actually, the 5's not running.
Well, we only got 4 guys right now that are multiple laps down. So a good part of the field either is used their fast repair, or maybe they got a little damage from this for somehow. The cars don't look like they have a great damage model, so it's a little hard for us to tell how extensive the damage is.
I gotta imagine any damage to the suspension in a car like this, and you're not gonna be. Not only you're not gonna be competitive, you're gonna end up being a hazard on the track.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. Any type of damage at all, and you're going to be speed wise, you're going to be down a bit.
Well, that caution though is gonna put Bobby Gibson back on the lead lap, so put the 28 back up there. Had his issues early, was able to rebound, and now it's just a matter of getting through the field, and that's going to be a tough task. I know we've got 17 of 50 laps completed. He's got plenty of time, but man, is it tough to pass out there. And honestly, with all these cautions, it's going to be even tougher for him to make ground.
Well, now with him getting his lap back, we have 22 cars still on the lead lap here. So not only is it going to be tough because of the track, but he's got a lot of cars to make his way through.
Yep, and we did get the one to go there, so we're going green next time by. Brinkamp's still your leader. Now you have a new second place driver, though, Sean Huffstutler. David Balthasar, those 3 have been up front the whole time. You've got Evan Amick, Josh Dubé, Chad Biesinger, Christopher Standridge, and then Nicholas Don Francisco. You got Brendan Biesinger and Kenneth Bradstock, your top 10.
Well, let's see if these guys can have a better restart than they did last. Well, actually, the 78 had a fantastic restart. But let's see if the rest of the top 10 can get a little bit better restart and stay on the 78 as they go into 1 on this one.
Well, Mark has had the fastest lap already, and we're going green.
All right,
The one I'm watching, the one I'm going to watch on this restart is that number 9 of Joshua Dubé. He seems to be really taking advantage of these restarts. It's the green, green, green. We're out.
And again, Dubé does get a good start. I just jumped back to him, and he's on the inside of Amick here, far 5th place. I'm sorry, that's
4th place. He just took over 4th place. He's doing really good on these restarts for sure.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see if we could get a decent green flag run here, so maybe some of this field could kind of catch up to Mark Brentkamp. Like I say, he's already ran the fastest lap at a 27.3. The next guy even close to him is a little over 2 seconds off, or 2/10 off. So he's got the car of the field tonight. We'll see what he can do with it.
Well, it looks like Hofstetler is a little bit closer than he's been, or was right before that caution. So let's see if he can put some laps together and close in on our leader, who actually had another fantastic restart.
Yeah, I'm with Tony. If we keep getting these cautions, keep getting these restarts, and Braincamp's continually able to, jump out to a run like this, I mean, I don't think you're going to catch him in 3 laps. So you're going to need a little bit of a longer run to try to make a run at him.
Well, I'm watching the boards right now, and Huffstuffler, he ran a 3.2. He's got a 27.351, so he's got some speed in that. Let's see if he can start closing the gap, though. He's slowly doing it foot by foot. He had actually a really good run there coming into the corner.
They're starting to stack up here for about 3rd. Like I said, it's 3rd on back. Biesinger coming under fire from Nicholas Don Francisco, and the 48's going to take that position. Actually, it looks like, yeah, he's going to slide up there.
Nope, we got the Biesingers together.
Good. That's That's half of a quartet.
It's pretty single file around the racetrack here. As I think everybody's settled in to maybe try to get some green flags here. We're getting a pass or two every once in a while as the 48 actually tries to move on to 77 going into the turn here. Did not make it this time.
Yeah, but the 48's making some headways, making some moves here, starting to run through the field. Get one here, get one there. He's getting some good runs off the corner. That's where you're. I think Tony was talking about. That's where you're gonna have to make the passes. Is that momentum down the straightaway?
Well, I'm watching.
Guess who has some company?
Yeah, that's what I'm watching. The race for the lead, and kind of like what I was saying early on, he's getting a great run on exit, and really picking up a lot of speed down the straightaways. And he is closing that gap, and actually currently has set the fastest time of the race at a 2:63, and he is on his bumper.
And he's doing a little blocking there too. He got really close to the wall there through with 3 and 4 as well. Just guys doing a great job. We had something happen in the back there.
Looks like the 78's getting a little bit loose here, and the 94 is definitely capitalizing with his Steve Kinzer throwback scheme.
Well, we have seen too in some of the other races that the guy that leads the most laps usually doesn't always win the race. The car strong early on too isn't really a huge factor later on, and we'll see. And it could be the car, but this track is definitely hell.
Well, he tried it there, but one thing I see with the 94, what he's doing, he's really beating him through turn 3. He's entering higher, or was entering higher in turn 3, and was able to get a great run through 3 and 4. Let's see, he backed up a little bit now. You see Brinkamp kind of throwing a block down the straightaway the last two laps to the inside, forcing Huffstutler to look at the outside. I'm not so sure he wants to go to the outside.
While we're watching the leaders, the 48 made his way past the 77, so put Nicholas Di Francesco up into 5th, right behind the 9 of Joshua Dubé and the 45 of David Baldessari.
There's some great racing going on right there, and in that group, right, 9 gets loose. He's still chasing it.
Great safe.
He did a great job. I mean, he's one of the guys. He was really aggressive in making some of those moves on the restarts and was able to move up, but he lost a couple there. But the 48 continues his climb. He's now up to 4th place.
And I'm back looking at Greg Jelling, my pick for the night, and he's sitting in 11th right now. He just made a pass to get up there. They're running pretty tight here, but they need some cautions.
Leader got loose. And
we got battle for the lead, and a little bit of contact off the corner there, but I think the 94's got it going into the corner.
I would usually say Rubbin's racing, but in these cars, Rubbin is usually a ticket to the infield.
Rubbin is sketchy.
But he made it work. So Sean Huffstutler to the front. Again, one of the fast guys from Bristol last week had some bad luck, but was able to work. Oh, now the 94 is loose.
And 78 makes that crossover move about a lap later, and he gets loose off the corner.
Contact with the 9. He was able to save it, though. It looked like the 9 and the... Hang on.
We got action everywhere.
So the 78 back to the point.
Yeah, 78 to the lead. Brinkamp takes over the lead again. Huffstutler's going to have to find a way around it again. And boy, these cars are looking sketchy through 1 and 2 right now.
Yeah, as the fuel load burns off, cars are going to start to get, well, they should get a little tighter, but that's going to probably make a tight loose situation where you're putting a lot of wheel in it, and then the cars are going to snap loose as the tires start to wear out.
There's that line again with the 94. I'm telling you, he's entering a little bit higher in turn 3. Was able to carry the momentum through 3 and 4 a little bit, and honestly draft up to him into turn 1. But now what do you do? And both of them wiggle this time.
Oh, big wiggle by Greg Drelling. I'm going back through the field here, and Greg Drelling had just made his way up to 8th place and had a big wiggle, lost 2 spots. I was going to bring up that him and Melissa Dyer both started 23rd and 24th on the grid, and have made their way up into the top 10 and 8th and now 10th.
Also, don't look now, but Bostic, last week's winner, is up to 6th place. He's starting to make some noise.
Yeah, he started 18th on the grid, so he's got a good good race going. Yellow.
Looks like it's going to be who you just talked about.
You have to get a look at your temps when you're on track right after
Marshall
that
Eaton involved.
Oh, the commentator's curse.
Well, they must be experiencing a bit of tire wear because their lap times have fallen off a little bit after that run. And it was kind of good to see. What do we have? Almost about 20 laps, right?
Did I get it to you out of 2? Didn't feel like it did.
All right, so here we go. We're looking at it through 3 and 4. Melissa Dyer in the 38 down into turn 1. Oh, a little side by side and a little contact there. And then she gets drilled.
By the 14. 14 of Michael Murray.
See what happened to the 22 here as well. Said he was involved in something. Looks like he just gets the wall. It's 2 different incidents happened on the same lap there. Let's look, you said the 14?
Yeah, the 14 had nowhere to go on the 38. Came down the racetrack.
So we can ride with the 14 if I can find them. You have a name on the 14? Because I'm not seeing a 14.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's Michael Murray. Michael Murray. Michael Murray.
Oh, there he is. Let's ride with Michael Murray. Well, here we go. Slow in, slow in, slow in. Car in front. Bam. He goes right through her, but sends her spinning.
All right, while we were watching those replays, the leaders made pit stops.
Well, again, they don't have tires to take. They do have fuel, and at least that fuel will kind of settle the car a little bit, maybe. But not everybody pitted, it doesn't look like.
It does not. So this is going to shake up the field a little bit for sure. In fact, it actually puts the 9, who was actually just in that yellow, on the point.
Yeah, the
He's
9 was dropping back having issues. He was a little loose. Tony talked about him losing some positions there, and
Yeah, I was trying to go back and look for that. I know the 9 was involved with, it was a red car at the time. That's about the only thing I could find. But they got loose. And, well, no, that wasn't for the caution. The 9 got loose real low. He was able to save it, and there was no caution. They kept going. And then a few laps later, it looks like that's what brought out our caution.
Okay. So what this is going to do now with 14 laps to go, if he was on a rearward slide, he may be thinking, well, let me not pit, and I'll probably, even if I fall back, I would probably be better off than I was when before the caution came out.
let's see if we can go back and see the 9's issues here. I think we have a replay of something.
I'm still curious to know if there is a fuel issue, or if they maybe their pit crew guy was saying, yeah, you might not have enough to make it, so a little splash here and there might not be a bad thing.
The 9 was side by side with somebody, and they made a little contact, and it got him sideways and all out of shape, and he lost about 3 or 4 positions there. So I'm not sure if it's car handling or maybe a little contact that caused some of that, because he was still trying to gather that down the straightaway.
And yeah, Tony, normally you would think that cautions save you fuel, but with these cars, the cautions may just be costing them laps on a already close fuel mileage.
Right. Yeah, and I know. I mean, as far as our calculations, when I was doing some testing for Iowa, I know it was close. This track's a little bit bigger. They're a little less laps though, but I'd imagine they're still on the throttle a lot more though.
Well, we're gonna find out here, because I think
Yeah, we'll find.
lights are off. We got 14 laps to go. You got Joshua Dubé. Hopefully he corrects us about his name if that's wrong. In first place, the one of Pete Woodrum behind him, Tom Land third, and then you have Sean Huffstutler, who came down pit road he's got a full tank of fuel now. We'll see if he can do anything. But we saw the leader get great restarts. Let's see if Dubé can do the same.
Well, this is definitely going to shuffle up the field for sure.
Green flag.
A little restart game's going on way down. Okay, so he was. Ooh, okay.
All right, the 2 just looks like he dropped out of the way.
And
Sorry, the
Dubé,
1.
yeah, Dubé had some issues there getting going, and Tom Land bout ran all over him. Got everybody kind of checked up here. Huffstutler up to third already.
Oh, somebody in the fence.
That's the second place guy. It's Tom Land. It's created a big checkup, and we got guys in the wall.
No caution yet, though.
No caution yet.
Yeah, these guys are bouncing all over each other. You want to talk about a gaggle? That is probably one of the biggest gaggles I've seen in a while.
It is. But through all that, Sean Huffstutler now up to second. He's going to have to chase down the 9 of Dubé, who is kind of opened up a little bit of a gap over second. As I say that, here comes the 94 creeping into the picture.
Well, we seen early on he had a pretty fast car. I don't know if the 94 is going to be able to get up there with him, or not the 94. He was racing with. Hang on.
We also have the 14 of Michael Murray, who I thought was going to take a trip to the infield care center. Right there with the 24 of Ty
Oh
Bostic.
no, 3 wide.
3 wide.
And that's last week's winner, Ty Bostic. Ty Bostic to the front. In the 12, I say that. Here comes the 94 back to the outside.
Oh, there's a big wreck behind him. Oh, my goodness.
So what you got going on out there,
He
bud?
was flying.
What a race going on up front there, but there was a
Jeez.
huge wreck behind him.
There was a big wreck. That was yeah, that was some intense racing, man. It was about to get real good up front.
Yeah, that was Pete Woodrum. He looked like he got a little tap from the back, and it got squirrely, and just you're that close to the wall. There's not much you can do. It sucks you in, and then you just get bounced around for decades.
He said he got touched from the back. Let's look at a replay from his gearbox and see what happened.
Oh, my goodness.
Through 3 and 4 to 77 right behind him. There's the touch into the wall, and good luck telling what was going on there.
He hit something and did some pirouetting, and
Yeah.
oh, my. Medic.
Maybe we'll get out of the car and look at it here, because we can tell you once he went flying, there was nothing left. Let's look. Slides up in front of the 77. 77 makes little contact right there, and that's all it takes. And then he's in front of the field as well. Ends up in the fence. You talking
Oh,
about
my.
being in the fence, Richie? He was in the fence.
He was in the fence. Good thing I saw the ambulance lights on my screen here, and thank God, because they need to go out and check him. Because, my goodness, I'd never seen anybody spin like that before.
Riding on board with Dan Withers through this and see what he sees. 67, racing hard. Car flipping. Oh, and he tries to get back in the gas and gets in the wall himself. That's unfortunate.
I was even looking at the 48 and on the tail end of that, and he had a little bit of damage. Kind of came back up the track and got clobbered.
Let's ride on board with the 77. Kind of see. You'll see a car disappear in a minute. Through 3 and 4. Looks to the outside. Woodrum slides up. Slight contact there, and we go on.
Oh, and the 48 got involved in that, too. And there's another one that's spun down over there.
Yeah, I saw the 48. Oh, you see the car flipping. Yeah, because there was another car spinning down there at the bottom of the track. I think it was Kenneth Bradstock.
That's kind of unfortunate that this happened, because everybody was having, they would do some great battling going on there.
No, Bradstock got involved in that too. Not sure who that was down there. But yeah, that was some great racing up front for sure. And I'm sure we're going to see some more of it here on this restart, because now you've got the heavy hitters up there on fresher tires. You got Ty Bostic, you got Sean, or I guess more fuel, and it does make a difference.
Yeah, they're definitely not pressure tires, but
yeah, not fresher tires, but more fuel because they've got more weight there, so that's going to help them kind of plant the car a little bit, maybe.
so Ty Bostic started 18th on this field, and has driven his way up to the lead. Now he's followed by the 94, who started up front, run up front all race, and I expect a pretty good battle between these two.
Baldassar was up there too. He's now in 8th, I guess, after pitting. Not able to really go anywhere. I mean, it is kind of tough to pass out there, or at least dangerous. But yeah, he's in 8th. He was up there. Greg Drelling's rebounded to a top 10. Brinkamp, who's led so many laps tonight, back in 11th place.
Yeah, I guess he did not have a good pit stop because he came out way behind the 94 on his pit stop and was not able to make anything up.
It's so hard getting through this field. I know I've been watching him too, just trying to get through the field. I mean, Drelling's basically stayed where he was at too. We've had some guys that have been able to make it through this, not by attrition. And what do we got? 16 guys on the lead lap still. It looks to be that there still are 22 cars though in the race. So yeah, it's interesting. I can't imagine there's too many guys with fast repairs left.
But you got 7 laps to go. You know, you've seen the 9 and the 48 be two of the most aggressive on the restarts, able to make moves, able to make passes. You really are going to have to be aggressive to be able to do anything here. We're going to see who is willing to take those risks and maybe take on a win tonight at Darlington. 2, 3, and 4. The pace car is off. 7 laps left.
Green flag.
Green flag's out, and we are back underway.
I got a decent jump off there, but
Oh, they're wrecking already. The one of the bees breezing is upside down.
Break or anything like that?
Yeah, I
Yellow
didn't
again.
think it was gonna work. They was some 3 wide action coming in for that restart with the bee singers and the 45 of Baldassare.
I wonder if he'll be singing a different tune after that one. You're welcome.
One, you need to pass me.
Here we go. We can look at a replay, and they're too
Oh.
wide.
And it had absolutely nothing to do with that.
No, somebody got the wall in front of them.
Exactly. I didn't see who that was, but yeah, somebody got it in front of them, and it had nothing to do with that. Tom Land. It looks like the 91 kissed the wall a little bit on that restart and stacked them up. That's unfortunate.
Tom Land trying to get his car going, hits the wall, and then carnage ensues. Who is that flipping? Is that Standridge or Gibson or?
I believe it was one of the B-singers.
Biesinger. It was Chad Biesinger, wasn't it? Let's see if we can ride on board with him.
You're a glutton for punishment riding on all these flips.
Yeah, I like this. So here we go. Gets the wall, and there you go. Right over. He just rode right over his left rear tire. And somehow the camera still works. There it goes.
There was 2 guys that got caught up towards the end that just spun a little bit and kept right on going. But it's amazing that there was only really 1 guy in that wreck.
Yeah, because it could have been a lot worse and it could have been a lot uglier. And everybody did a pretty good job of kind of snaking their way through that. I mean, these restarts are tough, man. It's you got to go. I mean, like I said, we've got 4 laps. We're gonna have a green, white, checkered here, and
I was just about to ask about their green, white checkered as the 38 is coming around for the lucky dog, put her back on the lead lap.
I think we're gonna have 1 attempt. I think they do 1 attempt to the green, white, checkered. We might.
That is correct. Yeah.
Okay, so we only have the 1 attempt.
I'm just wondering if we're even going to have the attempt. There could have been enough laps when the caution came out where it doesn't even trigger. Where they might just have a 1-lap shootout.
Let's see if the lights go out this time, because if not, it'll be a natural green, white, checkered.
And lights are still on, so we're gonna probably go green, white, checkered here.
So it's gonna force a green, white, checkered here. One of the and then next flag ends it when we go green. And yeah, I guess my question to you guys now is, do we make it all 3 laps? And if not, what do you do on the restart to try to get the lead before the caution comes out?
Yeah, well, to answer question A, no. To answer question B, you're going to have to step on that gas and just make a move. I don't see anybody, unless there's attrition in front of them, from 5th place beyond, making a pass for the win. I don't think they're going to get through the lap, to be honest.
Well, Richie, that's the question for you. Do you think there'll be attrition? Do you think there'll be a wreck up front? If you're Michael Murray, Evan Amick, 4th, 5th on back, are you satisfied waiting and seeing if something in front of you happens you can capitalize on, or do you get up there and get into it?
If that was me, I'm up on the wheel. I'm going as quickly as I can, as fast as I can. But that's the problem with these cars is that the harder you try to take off with them, the sketchier they get, and that'll end up causing the attrition. So you're kind of in a rock and a hard place. You're going to try to get as me personally, I'd try to get as much as I could without pushing that limit too much, especially if I was third, fourth, or fifth, because hoping that the one of the leaders um, makes a mistake.
And I think that's what it's going to come down to. The leaders are going to have to make a mistake, and you're going to have to just be in that right place at the right time. Starting single file too, you really got to be on your game with the restart. And so far, aside from the leader, second, third, fourth, fifth, and beyond, nobody's really, been able to get away. Especially within a lap or two.
Well,
Now,
you got Tyler Bostic up front, just to reset this, from Rockingham, North Carolina, and you've got Sean Huffstutler from Pontiac, Illinois. There's your front two, and then Joshua Dubé, who he didn't stop for fuel, so he's out there just like beginning of the race. And here we go, guys. We're gonna settle this. Green white checkered attempt, the only attempt we're gonna have, and we're waiting for the green flag, and we'll see how this works out here at Darlington. Green flag's out. We are underway one more time from Darlington.
the 94 had a fantastic jump there in second place.
He did.
Yes, he did.
And the 24 tried to guard the inside and did so as well. So we'll see how that works out down the backstretch.
Oh, we got some passing going on in the back. One of the B singers, the 18 of the B singers, just popped up in the fifth as the 14 goes by the 9, going down the backstretch.
Yeah.
They're still too wide, and things they're getting a little tight up there. Oh, we got some contact.
Contact. Still some contact.
Caution. All right, you tell me about your car, bud.
Oh boy,
Caution.
there's the yellow.
That'll end it.
Sounds like there's some anger issues going on here. Some guys upset over what's going on there. But it looks like Ty Bostic is gonna take the win.
That's gonna be 2 for 2 for him, Tony. Back-to-back wins to start the season, and he did it the hard way tonight.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially too coming from 18th. I mean, the hardest thing to do in this is keep it clean, and not only did he keep it clean, but he was able to drive through the field, and take that lead later in the stage, and held it. And some of the cautions probably helped him a little bit, but he had a quick car there at the end, and there's got to be a little bit of tire degradation going on because these cars. It seems like the later in the run you get, some guys can manage these tires a little better.
And that was the checkered flag. And Tyler Bostic taking home the win. Sean Huffstutler was able to hang into a second place run there. I'm sure he'll be happy. Not extremely happy, but somewhat happy with that finish. Michael Murray in third, Joshua Dubé fourth, and Brandon Basinger. Let's see if we can get the race results.
Looked like the 35 of Greg Drillinger was the question there at the end.
Yeah, we'll go back and look at that. Yeah, but Ty Bostic, 2 for 2, takes home the win tonight.
And he came from nowhere. I mean, he wasn't even on the radar until the very end of the race.
I think he went from fourth to first in like a couple corners. So that's the way you do it.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I'm even looking at last week to see where he started. Just to see if he had, he started 8th last week at Bristol, finished first there too. So not as impressive as tonight, but yeah, it was great win by him.
Listen, anytime you win with one of these cars, it's impressive.
And there is the back half of the field. Guys had trouble tonight. Jeff Nairn, surprisingly, had a rough night tonight. Stephen Hill, Roger Down, one of the new guys. Brian Newingham, he was in the battle last week and had a rough night tonight. And again, Chad Biesinger involved in one of those late wrecks. So yeah, unfortunate night for some of those guys. But I'm telling you, Ty Bostic, very impressive. Sean Huffstutler, he's the guy I've got an eye on. He's bound to win one of these races. Michael Murray kind of snuck up there tonight. Joshua Dubé looked good, especially on the restarts. Very, very strong. And then David Baltasar was able to get back to 7th.
There's a lot of great racing out there. I know we had some cautions on the track, but it's Darlington. You kind of expect the cautions, but a lot of great racing tonight. A lot of 2 wide and even some 3 wide action going on. So the guys did, as far as I'm concerned, they did a fantastic job.
They really did. Well, we're gonna thank our sponsors one more time here. We'll come back and we'll talk to our top 3 finishers here from Darlington. Racing action from the Smoking Tires Sprint Car Cup Series is brought to you by Team 126 Racing, your home for hard-nosed short-track racing action from the UK. Like and follow them at facebook.com/Team126Racing. By Butt Kicker, feel what you've been missing and experience immersion on a whole new level. Visit thebuttkicker.com to see all of their amazing products today. By Track Racer, experience refined gaming for yourself, including the new Alpine Racing TRX system. For more information, visit trackracer.com today. By Edwards Setup Shop, proud setup provider of the Smoking Tires Sprint Car Cup Series. Visit facebook.com/Edwards Setup Shop for more information. And by Epsilon Sprint Wraps, the place to get your sprint car and dirt racing paint schemes. Visit facebook.com/Epsilon Sprint Wraps today. All right, we're back here at Darlington Raceway, Darlington, South Carolina. What a night, guys! We raced into the darkness. We saw some people saw the light. So we can see some spectacular crashes, but a great finish, some great racing up front, and a great finish at the end. And we're going to see if we can talk to some of these guys here. Unfortunately, I don't think we have second and third place. So let's see if we can go on back then. Let's see if what about fifth place, B Singer? We have a Brendan B Singer anywhere?
No, sir.
All right.
We got Chad.
Evan Amick? No.
And these guys are hard to find after a race. They pull off the racetrack, get out of their suits, and they're out through the tunnel as quickly as they can.
Hey, we'll talk to Baltasar. Where did he finish? He finished in 7th place. Let's see if we can grab David Baltasar. You got a copy?
Hey, I got you.
Hey, man. Well, lucky you. Having a hard time finding people in the top 3, but went back to 7th. Found you. Want to talk to you again. Hey, congratulations on the top 10 anyway. Looked like kind of an eventful night for you.
Hey man, I appreciate it. Oh man, it was a rough race. I was so thrilled when I won that second heat and starting on the outside there. Had a really good race in the beginning. I was trying to save the tires as much as I could, but those top 2 guys, Ty and I think it was Sean, they were so fast. I just try to keep it clean, and then as the race went on, there was caution after caution. I had a mishap on pit road. I'm not sure what happened there, but the tires got badly worn, and then we just were bumping there towards the end.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot the heat race number 1 or number 2. Yeah, that was a good start. And you had a good start to the race, a good consistent, like you were in the top 3 the whole time. Then we had the pit stops, and then talk about how tough was it to pass? I mean, it looked like it was once you got back into Pac-Man, it was kind of chaos and it was hard to pass.
It was really hard to pass. I know going through 3 and 4, I just felt like I was burning the right side tires off of it. I just wanted to slide around. But it looked like the bottom was easier to get the pass on people. People were passing me on the bottom. But it was really tough. I was just trying to keep my tires clean, but it was really hard to pass. Who was it there at the end that I bumped on the last lap there before the caution came out?
I believe that was Greg Drelling with the 35.
All right, I apologize to Greg. I think it was just a racing incident. I couldn't go back and watch it, but I apologize for bumping up to him. I think I came up a little bit.
Yeah, that was just looked like it was a racing deal. You guys were going in. I think he was trying to go. You went in a little lower. He possibly went to go in on the outside, and you maybe got a little loose or something. So, my question to you is fuel. Did you guys had to pit because you didn't have enough fuel to make it to the end there?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, we had to pit. I think I only had about 40 laps of fuel, maybe 35 or so laps of fuel. So when that one caution came out before we all pitted, I was glad because I only had about 9 laps to go.
Well,
Definitely
that's
one. Go ahead, Tony.
well, I was going to say that that's actually pretty interesting. We were discussing that up here in the booth. Now, maybe you can say, what does it feel like? Does it feel better with a full fuel tank or a full tank of gas opposed to where you're running dry?
I don't know because when the race started, it takes a couple laps to get the tires heated up and it going and whatnot. But like when I filled it up with fuel, it felt a lot looser for some reason. I don't know why. I felt like I was burning the tires off even more, which is kind of weird. But it could have been just my driving style too. I felt better with less fuel in it than I did with more fuel.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of good info to know then. Yeah.
Yeah, we were wondering about that. We knew we couldn't take tires, so I didn't know if fuel maybe stabilized the car or what. I don't know, but man, the cars look like a handful. Again, you did a great job to bring it home in seventh place. Fairly uneventful compared to some of the other guys, but still a solid finish. And want to turn the mic over to you. Do you have anybody out there, any sponsors you'd like to thank, or anybody watching the broadcast?
I just want to give a shout out to Wonder Dads Gaming. They have videos on YouTube where we do streams every Thursday and Friday night. So guys, check that out. But also hope everybody has a good 4th of July next weekend. I believe we're off. So it's been fun though.
Awesome, awesome. Well, yeah, I'll have to check that out too. That's pretty cool. All right, nice, David. Thank you for joining us, and again, congratulations, and we'll see you next week.
Yep. Thanks for pulling me up in the booth, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, there's your seventh place finisher, David Baltazar, coming home seventh. And Tony, again, we saw him have a good run last week, and again, a solid run tonight. A good one to kind of keep your eye on.
Yeah, for sure. I know in Iowa he had, he didn't have the race he wanted tonight. He showed a little stronger. Still not the finish where he wanted, but yeah, we're going to definitely be seeing a lot more of him in time to come.
All right, so I think looking through the field, we're just going to go ahead and grab our winner. Talk to him. He's waited patiently. I'll grab Ty right quick. Ty Bostic, you got a copy.
Yep, I got you.
Hey man, 2 for 2. Takes home the win tonight at Darlington after winning last week at Bristol. Made it look easy out there. Congratulations.
Oh, it definitely wasn't easy, but I appreciate it.
Well, you came from what did you say, Tony? What position he come from?
He was from 18th.
18th place to win tonight. A little bit more work tonight than last week anyway. But again, tell me a little bit about the race. How did your race go?
I was basically just trying to make sure my car stayed on one piece till the final little stretch of 15, 20 laps. That way I'd have a shot. That was the main way I got up through the field, just not wrecking.
That seemed to be the right strategy because we did see a good bit of carnage tonight. We saw cars flipping and you saw in the heat races too that it gets a little crazy out there sometimes. But so you said about controlling the car. I know we saw some of the guys stop and pit for gas there. Did the fuel? We talked to David about that a little bit. The fuel, did it help the car be a little more stable, or was there, other than needing fuel, was there a reason you took fuel?
But obviously, the first priority for fuel was obviously to be able to make it to the end. We weren't going to be able to make it without stopping for gas. But you're right; it does feel a lot better having more than I'd say half a tank of gas. Once it gets a little bit below half, the weight being off the rears makes it feel like it doesn't have rear grip, so you have to be a little more careful with it.
No, gotcha.
Well, you said your plan was to ride around the back and work your way forward without wrecking and stuff. And we were on the broadcast. We were watching the race, and we had a great battle going up for the lead there. And then out of nowhere, on the one restart, I believe you went 2, 3 wide down into one, went from fourth to first there when you finally decided to pull the trigger. And I was like, you came from nowhere. But
Yeah, that's right.
congratulations on that run. Tell me about that pass.
Yes, I was just trying to get a good run off the corner. My plan was not to try to take all three of them at once, but it just so happened it worked out that way. The three of them in front of me kind of seemed to jumble up and slow each other down, and I had a massive run, so I was like, I got a chance. It's hard to pass here, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to go by all three of them right now. So I saw the opportunity, so I just took it.
Definitely
Well,
a fantastic pass. Go ahead, Tony.
yeah, how's the tire wear? I mean, we've noticed the lap times they were falling off about almost a second. What does it feel like later on in the run? Has it been different since from Bristol to here? I mean, maybe you can give me an idea what you're experiencing.
It doesn't feel too awful bad. Like you said, it does slow down a little bit. You just have to be more careful in certain corners. Like here at Darlington, I had to tiptoe around 3 and 4 a little bit more carefully than I did um, earlier in the race. 1 and 2 still felt kind of fine because you kind of not exactly slide, but you kind of let the car momentum slide you up to the wall just a little bit. So the tire wear wasn't quite as noticeable in 1 and 2 than it was in 3 and 4 for me because of that.
And we're
Okay.
just watching some of your highlights here on the video. It's some pretty good racing up there, man. When we were green, there was a lot of hard, close racing. Like we said, the battle up front, man, it was getting intense there before that caution came out. I mean, you were in the back of the pack a little bit there. Just tell me the difference between racing up front, racing through the pack, and again, you were talking about how hard it is to pass. Just kind of give us an overview of that.
The main thing that was hard about racing in the back of the pack for me this race was everybody in the back was trying to seem like they were staying in the back and stay out of trouble. So that was the biggest part for me was trying to stay out of trying to stay out of the other people. A lot of the people in the back were kind of just trying to keep off the gas and try to not wreck, and in turn slowing everybody down and almost causing wrecks. Kind of like the grandma driving down the interstate at 20 miles an hour. That's what it kind of seemed like.
Yeah, we saw some of that too, and that's one thing. I think that's one thing that caused one of those, at least a few of those wrecks back there, is that some guys were riding, some guys were pushing, some guys thought it was time to go. Sometimes, they thought sometimes it was time to ride. So yeah, it got lit chaos back there, and with a car like this, it's hard to drive. I'm sure that's kind of difficult to navigate.
Absolutely. That's what I think what caused a lot of the problems, a lot of the wrecks this race were people not gauging how fast the guy in front of them was going and getting into them.
Yeah, yeah, we didn't see as much as at Bristol as far as guys getting loose or tied off the corner. It was more of a difference in speed.
Right.
Well, Ty, again, congratulations on your first place finish. I'm gonna give you the mic. You got any sponsors you want to thank, or anybody watching the broadcast?
I give a shout out to my parents. They always watch these. So hopefully they're watching it and enjoy it. And hopefully my dad gets feeling better and enjoying watching this while he's laying around, hopefully getting feeling a little better.
Well, that's 2 for 2 for you. So going for three, and well, actually next week we're off, aren't we? So we'll have to give it a
We
week,
are
and then
back
and
at
then
Iowa the week after next.
and then go for it at Iowa. So good luck in Iowa next week or in 2 weeks, Ty. We'll see you there. And again, congratulations tonight.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
And there's your winner tonight, Ty Bostic, taking home the victory, making it look easy.
Well, I don't know if he made it look easy, but he definitely was. He definitely looked like he was on a mission there. I'm just watching his 3-car pass going into one to take the lead, and yeah, he came from nowhere, took the lead. Fantastic race for him. Fantastic race overall, as far as I'm concerned.
It was. There was some good racing up front. A few wrecks there we had to kind of navigate. A few fast repairs used tonight. A few walls need to be repaired. But it is what it is. I mean, these cars, like I said, they're tough to drive. This is a tough track. The combination is going to be a tough race, and you know, to the spoils go the victor. Tony, we're off next week. Then we head back to Iowa, and we all were at Iowa, and we remember what we saw at Iowa. What are we looking for that race?
Well, it's probably going to be much of the same that we saw back at Iowa, but I think they're going to Dover though next in 2 weeks. But at least it's what I'm looking at a Marshall post right now.
You're right. Nope, I should have pulled it up before I said anything. So it is Dover before Iowa. So we're off next week for July 4th. You guys enjoy your holiday, and we enjoy mine as well. And then we head to Dover, high banked, 1 mile track for these cars. That's going to be fun.
Absolutely.
These guys are my new heroes running these tracks with these cars. It's absolutely fascinating that they're choosing these tracks. That'll be another fantastic high bank, high speed. Put your big boy pants on kind of track.
Absolutely. Well, we'll be there. We'll be there to bring all the action again from the Smokin Tire Sprint Car Cup Series. We're looking forward to it. and hope you guys will join us in 2 weeks at Dover. But we've had fun tonight in Darlington, racing on the lights, a lot of action, a lot of excitement, and hope you guys enjoyed it. For Tony Solari, Richie Coy, myself, this has been Full Throttle Television, and we'll see you in 2 weeks in Dover. Racing Action.